So, oh, there it is. Bringing it back. Still not sure which version of Druid Savjz is playing. Those are all cards that you can see in pretty much any version of Druid. This matchup usually comes down to draws, basically. I mean, whoever gets Wild Growth is at a huge advantage. It's very tough to beat that if one player has Wild Growth and the other doesn't. So, Spectator Client's going to load up. We're not going to see the mulligans just yet until they're both... There we go. Alright, so we got Innervate Shredder, Druid of the Claw Lore. Innervate's good, but I mean, with that draw in and of itself, it's just going to have a lot of turns where he hero powers. So Cole's going to look for, or hope to draw something like Wild Growth.
Well, Savjz does pick up that Wild Growth.
Yeah, Savjz's hand is much better, I would say.
Well, he's going to be able to basically play anything after turn 2. Now, double Innervate.
Big pickup.
Yeah, with the Ancient of Lore. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like his choice to just play the Shredder here.
Okay. I was assuming a turn 2 Ancient of Lore would have been pretty strong too, or even turn 3 to curve it out, but Pilot Shredder, early damage, pretty strong.
Yeah, turn 1 Shredder, turn 2 nothing, turn 3 Druid of the Claw is probably what's going to happen here. Basically, he's saying, you know, if Savjz wants to Wild Growth, it's going to cost him 4 life because he can't Wrath the Piloted Shredder and Wild Growth. So he wants to get that out as soon as possible. And that's up to Savjz. Decide what to go with. He's considering innervating his own Shredder. That makes sense because then turn 3 he could Wild Growth, which would give him a turn 4 Druid of the Claw. And he's going to opt to just Wild Growth instead. Save the innervate. It's going to cost him a lot of life though.
Well, it's assuming that his opponent is playing some combo to finish it out. You know, what if this ramp Druid is so slow it doesn't have any Force of Natures, no Savage Roars, and the pressure is almost meaningless? If Savjz can know that, right? There's no guarantee. But if he does his research and say, well, you know, yesterday I saw Cole's games, and if this really is a ramp Druid, then I don't really interpret it as having that combo.
Yeah, he definitely might be more willing to take early damage because of that. Alright, Shredder's going to keep getting in for 4. This is the thing with holding on to Innervate. The longer you wait to play it, the less of an impact it has. So he opted to not play the turn 2 Shredder. And now this Innervate doesn't have too much use. I mean, next turn it's probably going to get a Shade out, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess this is just fast Druid. We see some ramp Druids play Shade and X Rammus, but the fact that he has Loatheb and Shade makes me think it's just a standard fast Druid of Spectral Knight from Savjz.
And again, Druid becoming one of those more popular classes in tournaments. No one's playing Fatigue Druid. That makes me a little sad, Andre. Have you played that at all? You played that at all, right?
A little bit. I tested it out. Yeah, it's alright.
It's fun, isn't it?
For one person.
Yeah, for you. The one playing it, right?
If I'm winning.
Well, Cole doesn't have a very clean play here. Either he floats a mana or he has to use swipe suboptimally here.
Yeah, talk about a mirror match. Both players have identical boards, and attacking is pretty bad for whichever player ends up attacking, honestly. I think we're just going to see a big game Hunter and no attacks. That seems like the best play to me. If you attack with both minions, you're basically letting Druid of the Claw deal 8 damage. Whereas if you don't attack at all, it's only going to output 4.
Well, he evaluates after he attacks with the Pilot Shredder. Yikes! That's a lot of damage being dealt by the Druid of the Claw.
Yep, he was going to opt to do that.
And that's a perfect Force of Nature.
Yep.
2/2/2. And Savjz is finally commanding the board position despite Cole having 2 Innervates. And there's no turn 5 play, at least lined up yet, for Cole.
Yep, he's definitely going to regret that decision, I think, to attack.
Ugh.
Ancient of War picked up. It's not exactly what he wants. The big question is, does Savjz play Black Knight? Because it's a card we see time to time in Druid decks, and, you know, against ramp, it's just...
Oh!
Wow.
Yikes. After the Dr. Boom has been played!
Yeah.
Alright. Mind control tech off the top.
He already played a big game Hunter, too.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, this does not look great for Cole. He's going to have a very hard time getting back into this game.
He's just going to be taking so much damage. He already saw a Force of Nature, so he's aware of what his opponents can do damage-wise. 4 damage, about pretty much the most average result you can get here.
Yep.
2.5, of course, being the actual average. Shade with Loatheb is probably the best combination that you can have with the Shade in the mid game, just because then they can't respond to it.
Yeah, he even drew the Savjz to finish the game off next turn.
Well, can he get past this Ancient of Lore pretty easily? Pretty sure he can. He's got Swipe too for damage as well. So if he swipes the face, pushes with Dr. Boom,
It's lethal.
that is lethal right there.
Alright, well, Savjz is going to get out to 1-0 lead against Cole. Off the back of fast Druid. Druid games do tend to play themselves, but I feel like there's that one decision where Cole attacked into the Druid of the Claw that he could have just passed instead.
Right.
Might have been better. Still tough to win with Dr. Boom draw from Savjz, though.
Right, and not to mention he had 2 turns, or even 3 turns, where he actually had really nothing to